Welcome to a truly revolutionary episode of QI. Rising up in revolt this week, we have four recalcitrant renegades, the radicals, Susan Gelman, the rebellious Jessica Fostekew, rabble-rousing Giles Brandreth, and he's an absolute riot, it's Alan Davis. Really revolutionary. Susan goes. Nice. Jessica goes. I think that's fine. Giles, a bit of a headbanger, maybe.
I recognise this. It's one of my favourites. It's the Sex Pistols.
Yes.
And once in the 1980s, I met Johnny Rotten.
Did you?
At the Midland Hotel, Manchester. I went up to him and I said, "Oh, Mr. Rotten, I'm so delighted to meet you." And he said to me, "Fuck off."
I could say to you, you wouldn't have an anecdote. Alan goes. Here's question one. Stop me when you know what these names are for. Okay. Patriotic Shorter, Silence Mill, yes.
Silence Mills, the nickname I gave to my worst ever Edinburgh show.
It's like tumbleweed, isn't it?
We punks will remember a band called Silence Mill.
Okay.
Charlie Seesaw, that could be a racehorse.
I like the necktie of Cadet.
They all sound like ailments or affliction.
Okay, so I'm going to help you that we have translated all of these. They were originally in French, and there was a sound effect that went with each one of them.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
Guillotine.
Guillotine.
Guillotine. I don't want to not get the point on a matter of admin.
So in French, they were absolutely fantastic. The patriotic shorter was Raccourcement Patriotique, Silence Mill Moulin à Silence, and the regretful climb Mont à Regret. All nicknames for the guillotine used in the French Revolution. Yes, you met the man who invented it.
He told me to fuck off.
And do you have a personal interest in the subject as it happens?
Oh, why is that?
But before I get to that,
yes.
let me tell you what little I know about the guillotine.
The guillotine.
Le guillotine.
Yes.
Do we get bonus points for this information, or am I just wasting time? My recollection is...
Yes. We're going back a bit. It's the French Revolution.
It's the French Revolution. But when I was at university, one of my subjects was the French Revolution.
Oh, right.
And as I remember, the guillotine was named after a man called Guillotine, and he wanted a nicer way of killing the enemies of the revolution.
Right.
And so he was actually meaning it in a kind way. So I think that's who guillotine was.
Yeah.
But I know it went on for years and years and years, because in 1977, I went to Paris for the last use of the guillotine.
And this is your personal interest?
I was a campaigner against capital punishment. I went with a group, because we couldn't believe it, to protest.
Right.
This was still going on.
I know. What did you have T-shirts that said "Quit while you're ahead"?
Can I say, I was at university in the 1960s, so this is a long time ago, but in 1968, obviously, I was in Paris, trying to foment, in my pre-punk period, the revolution in France at the time.
When I was at university, I was simply trying to get laid. I'll be very... lots of corduroy and trying to look intelligent. Sadly, the ruse did not work.
Corduroy, that'll do it for you. I had one of those sweaters with leather patches on the elbows, a little pipe. I thought it looked good. It wasn't named after Dr. Guillotine, and in fact his family hated this association with the name, and they constantly petitioned the French government saying, please call it something else, please call it something else, and in the end they changed their name because they got so fed up with it.
Perhaps it was Gillette.
Yes. There is a rumour that he was killed by his own apparatus. It is not true. In fact, he died from an infection on a carbuncle on his shoulder. So, I know.
What's a carbuncle?
It's not pleasant. Don't get one.
Well, a nice carbuncle at the end of the night, though, that can work.
That's possibly the most tragic thing you've ever seen.
You'll lift home, we can have a carbuncle.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you're trying to get laid.
So the person who did the very first guillotining, he was Louis XVI's executioner. He was a man by the name of Charles-Henri Sanson. He was the fourth out of 6 generations of executioner. He executed nearly 3,000 people. He was a celebrity because he was France's executioner. And his uniform that he used to wear, which was sort of striped trousers and a fancy hat and an overcoat, became a very fashionable look for men. What do you think women might have worn to celebrate?
Corduroy.
Women wore guillotine-shaped earrings.
Oh my
and what sort of unpleasant? That's the king and queen's head below. That's weird, right?
I think I might quite like that.
Women wore guillotine-shaped earrings. And what sort of unpleasant? That's the king and queen's head below. That's weird, right?
I think I might quite like that.
Yeah. They do well at Topshop.
Yeah. Anyway, he was supposed to pass on the job to his eldest son, Gabriel. Gabriel died, unfortunately, while he was helping his father with an execution. He slipped on some blood and fell off the scaffold.
They didn't feature any of this in Carry On Up the French Revolution. A wonderful film with Kenneth Williams as the Grand Fromage.
Yes.
I want to watch that again now. You never see them anymore. It used to be on all the time.
Well, they're on ITV too. If you watch television in the afternoon, if you've got no job, if you're self-employed.
They do some wonderful programs.
Do they?
I do the voiceover for one of the commercials.
Oh, well, it's worth watching just for that.
It is. It's actually, I love doing it. I'm the voice now of the Tenor Flex Plus Super Soft Incontinence Pad. Tells us something about the ITV2 audience, I think.
Yes.
Joy is you can watch all the Carry On films right through the afternoon and evening without needing to leave the sofa.
So the executioner, because his son had died falling off the scaffold, passed the job to his second son, who was called Henri Clément. He disgraced the family, I'm afraid. He had an aversion to blood, and then he had serious gambling debts, and he eventually pawned off the guillotine to pay off his debts. And he turned up at the next execution with an axe, pretty much saying, will this do? So they fired him, and the Ministry of Justice had to buy the guillotine back from... I know. Who is the woman associated with the French Revolution?
Madame Tussaud, because she took facial masks, didn't she? Death masks of the people.
It's an extraordinary story because she was the art teacher and indeed a waxworks modeller for the sister of Louis XVI. And so she was seen to be a royalist, and her head was actually shaved in preparation for execution. And she was saved by a leading revolutionary who had been friendly with her before. And she was made to do the people's likenesses. And then she was asked to come to Britain to show them, and was going to go back to France but had to stay because the Napoleonic Wars started and she wasn't able to return.
Who are these?
And so this is the King and Queen.
Those are actually the King and Queen of France.
It's Marie Antoinette and the King. Yeah.
Or the waxworks of them.
Yes.
I used to work in Madame Tussauds.
Oh, this is marvellous. Somebody who can out-anecdote Giles. I like this.
I worked as a zombie because my acting career got off to a really quick start. And you had to learn how to put all different latex on stuff and make your makeup really awful to be jumping out at people in this scary maze. But you learned to wax, which was to stand where tourists were walking past you and you'd stay completely still and then just move a bit and people would cack themselves. And I got told after my second stint there that I was the scariest woman they'd ever had.
Giles, I thought when you said you had personal experience of this that you were going to mention a family connection.
This, seriously, is how I became really interested in this subject of the guillotine and executions. Because my forebear, Jeremiah Brandreth, was a revolutionary and the last person to be beheaded in this country for treason.
I think we have a picture, actually, of Jeremiah.
There he is.
Part of the Pentrick.
1817. He was a revolutionary. He began as a Luddite. He realized that the Industrial Revolution was going to make people lose their jobs. He was determined to overthrow the government of the day. And anyway, he led this revolution up in Derbyshire. He was known as the Nottingham Captain, and was arrested, put on trial, and was not just hanged, but he was then beheaded.
Yes.
Because he was a traitor.
Because they wanted to show the head. I mean, I think he was already dead by the time he was beheaded. Now, we were trying to see the family likeness in this, so we've done a little bit of photoshopping just to see how that would look. So there you are. Uncanny. I do think, darling, if you were ever beheaded, just as they lifted the head up, you'd be going, I've got one more story.
You know, the head can live on for another 15 seconds.
All good revolutions start with a bit of rioting, but how can you cause a riot with a clown hat, some vodka, and a lump of cheese?
Is it to take them as a gift at the marriage of your ex?
Is it a circus riot?
Well, there are three separate riots, in fact. The one with the clown hat, so it was 1850s. You're talking about very tough town.
Must be a Russian circus.
No, it's Toronto.
Oh, really?
So when Toronto started, so we're talking about the 1850s, there was a